Alright everybody, welcome back. This is I Say Cousin. Today we're continuing with Sherlock Holmes, The Awakened. Now let's see what Watson can do for us.
Blood in the water. Someone must have washed their hands here recently. What have we got ourselves into, Holmes? The only reason to hang something this harrowing here would be to create another patient.
Very good, Watson.
Did a child make these?
Uh-oh. Heidi. The Queen. Oh. Don't point that at me.
Perhaps I should take this. For all I hope it won't be needed.
Okay. Armed and dangerous. Was that it?
Miss?
No.
I hear them scratching. Don't you hear it?
I don't want to card block B tonight.
Well, I understand.
Did you see my son? He's such a sweet boy.
I want them to fly.
Give it to me. No, I don't want to. Why not?
A visitor? No, you shouldn't have come here.
We didn't see you before.
If you happen to meet him, tell him I'm here.
Okay. This is a dumb waiter.
Looks dusty but functional.
Oh, we never use that. I think it connects somewhere downstairs.
I see.
Did you hear that a patient escaped? All the guards rushed off to find him.
Yep.
Ah, Dr. Watson. Just the man I wanted to see.
Professor, I'm surprised you're not trying to catch that escapee.
Please, my time is far too valuable. I hope Nurse Kuntz has been taking good care of you.
He has certainly kept me out of trouble.
Professor, it is time for your appointment with your next patient, Mr. Wolf.
Herr Wolf can wait until tomorrow. I wish to speak with Dr. Watson.
As you wish.
You still see patients yourself, even as the director of this entire facility?
Only the important ones. And yet I rarely get to pick the brain of a man like yourself. I think it is time we got to know each other, no?
I'm afraid there's not much to know. I'm just an average chap living a rather prosaic life these days.
Dr. Watson, those of us who pursue knowledge are anything but average. Now, who are you?
I'm a doctor.
I'm a physician in search of a stimulating career. I have patients, yes, but admittedly, I'm more interested in the cutting edge of medical research. So when I read about the Black Edelweiss and your work on the healing of minds, I simply had to learn more.
I suppose my Edelweiss was always destined to attract other curious minds. But before we continue, I want you to understand one thing. A broken mind can never be truly healed.
Ah, I see. So, what exactly do you do here?
It is simple. If you cannot fix a person's nature, you must force them to forget it.
Surely there are other methods of treatment.
How naive. You remind me of a man I once knew, Professor Becker. But we do not speak of him anymore.
A colleague?
The former director here. One day he realized that Edelweiss had outgrown him and had to leave.
Yeah, I bet he left, and he's not somewhere down in these dungeons.
Already, Doctor?
Admiring your.
I was simply admiring your office, Professor. Apologies.
While I am pleased to appreciate its practicality and appearance, we were discussing bigger things. Was my conversation boring you?
No, not at all. I merely...
No, I understand full well. You're not seeking conversation.
What do you mean?
It is obvious. Your mind craves truth, but not in this form. You must witness a practical demonstration if you are to learn.
I'm certainly intrigued. Would that be possible?
Of course. I propose a journey between the jury of the human brain. You will not leave without being truly enlightened. Kuntz, take Dr. Watson back to the courtyard. Then tell the nurses to prepare the operation room and the girl with the doll.
Yes, Professor.
Our preparations will take a little time. I will come for you soon, Doctor.
Run, Watson, run! What do we have? Administration.
Photograph seems recent. A commemorative photo album. Been a while since I've been in one of these.
Gygax's patient reports. October 1879. As more serious treatment is necessary, my special patient Wolf will be transferred to patient room 2 on the ground floor. All other patients must be removed from my schedule and reassigned to other specialists at the Institute. This patient's mental state requires constant monitoring and immediate intervention to avoid undesirable consequences. The necessary surgical procedures were successfully performed. Physical recovery is still in progress. Memory loss is increasing but still not complete. A new obsession with writing has developed, probably as a side effect. The patient's writing now mentions old names, clear sign of partial memory recovery. Unacceptable result. A second surgery is required, targeting both the frontal and temporal lobes. Surgery went well. The patient's memory does not persist for longer than a couple of minutes, although an obsession with writing lingers. Danger eliminated. Daily monitoring prescribed.
Good lord, that's a lot of records.
Okay. A visitor from space, glowing meteor lands in Arkham. Ah, yes, the color out of space. We are familiar.
I hope you're finding your room comfortable, Dr. Watson.
Oh, I sure am. Not. I spent like 5 minutes in there. Let's see.
Professor Gygax will have much to tell you.
I can't just leave Holmes here alone.
Well, I mean, we can, but... Examination room. It's locked. Wolf.
You are Mr. Wolf, am I right?
Oh, hello. Who might you be?
My name is Dr. John Watson. I wanted to talk with you, if you didn't mind.
Ah, doctor. I don't suppose you could help. I seem to have forgotten where I am.
We're in the Black Edelweiss, Mr. Wolf. It's an asylum in Switzerland, and you are one of its most important patients.
But why am I here?
That's what I was about to ask you.
I can't remember. Sorry, I can't remember anything.
It's all right. You don't need to push. Try to relax. Let the thoughts come and go. Now, what comes to mind? Mr. Wolf?
Oh, hello. Who might you be?
We just went over this.
I'm sorry, but I don't think we were.
We were just discussing this facility, the Black Edelweiss Asylum, and why you are here.
That name does sound familiar.
Holmes, the things I do for you.
Excuse me, who are you? And who's this Holmes fellow?
I am Dr. Watson, and Holmes is, well, you could call him my imaginary friend. That's just a little joke, don't mind me.
But why am I here, Doctor? Am I sick?
I'm sure I can take a look.
This poor guy. What did they do to him? He's severe chemical burns, faded with age. Facial palsy, one side is paralyzed. 2 deep scars, precise surgical incisions. Ink. Skin pigmentation, possible abuse of medicine. An adult male with 2 deep surgical scars on the side of his head and an old chemical burn on one of his hands. Mr. Wolf has some paralysis of facial muscles and blue-grey skin pigmentation spots on his skin. These symptoms are most likely pre-existing, and his admission to the Black Edelweiss for treatment has so far failed to cure him. An adult male with 2, yep. Mr. Wolf has some paralysis of his facial muscles, most likely the result of brain surgeries. Blue-grey pigmentation spots on his skin are likely due to the overuse of medications containing silver nitrate. It appears that his illness is a direct result of the treatment he has received here at the Black Edelweiss. I believe we know that that is the answer.
Dear Lord, what did Gygax do to you?
Excuse me, who are you?
Oh, never mind.
Oh boy. Patience poetry. Oh, beautiful alpine flower, whose heart I do miss so. You called to me while I don't see. How could I let you go? The storm cuts through my senses, makes all my thoughts so blind. With no captain, I miss reason. What did they truly find? Cold and dark with grimy walls, roughly held like animals, trapped yet free, why do I fall? Something squirms on the tip of the tongue, but what can it be? What did I forget? I mean, even if we confront this Gygax with this kind of stuff.
This area is off limits. A patient has escaped.
She's just gonna deny it, right? Let's see what we got. There we go. Aha! Wolf is actually Professor Becker, the previous director of the Black Edelweiss. He now suffers from severe memory issues, but still retains the ability to write. See that one up top. Use Becker to distract Gygax. If Becker can still write, perhaps he can get Gygax's attention with a letter. Need to pin that. Oh, it already was.
Hello again. You won't remember me, but we've met before. I am Dr. John Watson, and you are Professor Becker. You were the previous director of this facility, the Black Edelweiss.
Professor, really? Actually, that name does sound familiar. Wait. Let me write it down. I try to recall memories through writing, but they always feel just out of reach.
As a matter of fact, I have more for you to jot down.
Oh, yes. Yes, please, anything.
Professor Gygax did this to you. She made you forget everything, even who you are. But we will play a trick on her. We will write a letter so that she learns her lesson. Put down what I dictate.
Gygax is a poor director.
Dear Professor Gygax, I bitterly regret that I let my beautiful alpine flower fall under your influence. I see now that you never deserved to sit as the director of the Black Edelweiss. You will be brought to justice, and the world will know your cruelty. And by the time you make it to my cell, the police will already know the truth of how you came to be director of this asylum. Signed, Professor Becker.
There. It's done. Now, hold on a minute. Who are you?
My name is John Watson. I'm a doctor from London, a veteran of Afghanistan, and I wish to be a writer, though deep down I fear I lack the talent. And presently I'm risking my life to help my brilliant detective flatmate in the pursuit of a cult of kidnappers, even as I fear it may destroy him. I'm tired and hungry, and I have not had a good bath in weeks, and yet despite it all, I feel alive. Any more questions?
Good heavens, sir. You're as mad as they come.
Go, Watson. He's doing it. Yep.
One of the patients asked me to deliver this note. It's for Professor Gygax.
Thank you, Doctor. Leave it with me.
Unbelievable. Kunz, with me.
Yeah, but what kind of torment have we put Becca under now, huh? That's you.
Close, but I don't think this is the key.
Aww.
This is too small to be what Holmes asked for.
Letter from New Orleans Bank. Dear Professor, we recently took possession of a collection of rare gems on behalf of our mutual acquaintance. The gems have now been sold to Louisiana jewelers, who made several offers far exceeding our experts' estimate of the stone's values. The final sale price agreed upon for the 11 gems was 12,550 Swiss francs. Our client has instructed that you receive 2/3 of this sum, transferred to your solicitor as per usual. As always, your discretion, or our discretion, is assured, and we look forward to continued business with you and your illustrious patron. Yours sincerely, Jeffrey Scott, representative of the E.W. Gray Banking House, New Orleans, USA. Blah. Diary. Gygax's diary. It has been 3 months since I took over the Edelweiss from Becker. Not all my colleagues approved of the rule changes, so I am now the only professor here. No matter, the hiring of several strong nurses will solve the personnel shortage. At last my work can flourish without the impairment of his lesser mind. The first payment has arrived from R. Our deal does pose risks, but the possibilities are endless if he is true to his word. The first shipment of chosen ones has arrived. R has sent a vast selection of broken minds. The work ahead will be difficult, but undoubtedly useful for my own research as well. 2 birds with 1 stone. This is Dirty Summers. I can't remember what his first name was.
An Edelweiss relief about 2 inches in diameter. This must be what Holmes was after.
We did it!
Nothing special about this.
Oh. I guess it's all just stuff that we could have picked up if we were searching for it. Yeah, here we go. Eh. What is behind the wall?
It's sealed tight. I can't exit the same way.
Oh, this looks ominous and dark, and is something that will... This less so. But we'll... Pains on the floor. What are they studying? Anyway, we'll figure this out next time. This has been I Say Cosm. Stay tuned for more Cosmic Horror video games. Thanks for watching.